Bonjour and welcome to all you geeks, readers and collectors to the latest weekly roundup of the top 10 of the week. Now, normally this is the bit where I say what a great week it is and I've got like 84 comics to review. The top 10, I'm going to be honest, is the 10 I bought. We're still going to do a deep dive on the top 5 because they are worthy, and I will do honourable mentions for the other 5 because there isn't really a whinge there. But you know what I'm getting at, like it is what it is because it's the 5th week of the month. So there was literally no DC, not a one. Because I've got 10 comics here that I bought. Oh, there might have been 1 or 2 odd bods, but because it's the 5th week, it's that 5-week month, and DC just seemed to have gone, we might worry about it. so we've got Marvel and Image. That's it. I don't think there's no Boom. No, there's no anyone else. It's Marvel and Image. And let's get on with it. Because the first 2 books that I've got, interestingly, are... Well, the first one I've got, Ultimate Spider-Man, right? And this is going to be in my deep dive on the top 5. So I know this might be surprising to any followers of our channel, but this actually had, for Jonathan Hickman, it had plenty of substance to it. It had plenty of oomph, and I don't need a big fight. I don't need loads of action every month. But what I do need is some. Get on with it. If you're laying down foundations for characters, but come on, get on with it. It is comic books. Come on. Let's have some momentum. So, but that's in my top 5 for the deep dive. This one, I was very, very pleased to report. Yeah, they did it. It was everything that I wanted. It is everything I wanted from an X-Men comic that allows me to jump back on the bandwagon. I might have forgotten what powers Forge has got. I might have forgotten. I might not know what some of the new X-Men, who they are. So tell me, bring me back in. If not, just carry on the numbering from post Krakoa. Don't launch it from number 1 and don't tell me what's going on. Don't do that. But the other way round is do what they've done there. So I applaud them for that. The finish of Blood Hunt. Ooh. By the way, the deep dive on the top 5 will have all the spoilers. So I don't know if I really want to spoil Blood Hunt, because it seems to be why the whole Blood Hunt thing got done. The finale of Blood Hunt. Not that it's a bad thing, because it's in my deep dive for the top 5. So, but spoiler alert after the scroll. Yeah, beware. And this is a question that I've needed to ask myself so many times over the years. That was just a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun. And in a similar vein, my book of the week is this. And do you know what? I don't know if I made issue 1. Oh, you know what I'm like, my memory. But anyway, I don't know if I made issue 1 my book of the week. But again, what this book is a breath of fresh air in between everything else. And everything else is great. You've got some heavy sci-fi from Boom and Image, and you've got the superhero shtick from DC and Marvel, and in the middle you've got Grommets, and that is where it sits and exists as that aforementioned breath of fresh air, and I love it. And that is going to be my book of the week. I know it's a thin week. I'm not sure if I would have made that. No. I won't ramble. Now, before I get on to my honourable mentions, let me just give a couple of honourable mentions to Paul, Comics and Fantasy in Hornchurch, Essex, where I get all the new books from every week. Does me a good turn. Hello, Paul. And also my Threads friends. And I know I'm a bit late because I kind of jumped into that, didn't I? Normally I do this before that. But all you lot over on Threads, me love you all long time. I know that might be a little bit racially inappropriate, but you know I'm not like that. So, you know I'll love you a long time. And it's a great, if you're not over there on Threads and you love your comic books and you like getting involved with like-minded individuals, just get over there. Get over there. It's nothing like Twitter. Not that I was ever on Twitter, but from what I'm hearing, or X, that is called in latter days. Yeah, just get over there. Just get over there and enjoy yourself and share your hobby with like-minded, positive people. We can't all like every single book. That's why every now and again I have a little whinge of the week, don't I? I haven't this week because, like, well, no, to be fair, I haven't. Out of the 10, out of the top 10, I haven't got a whinge of the week. And if you want a little bit of fun at the end of the video, it won't be as much fun as when I've got 20 odd comics, but we're going to do the cover of the week, imagining if we had the pocket money for just one comic on the spinner rack or the drugstore or newsagent's shelf. Oh, what would be that one comic that sucked us in like the tractor beam? But before we get there, 5 more honourable mentions this week. 5 good comics. This particularly, and I think I've made this my book of the week a couple of weeks running. This is only issue 4. J.M. DeMatteis, and a beautiful ending. And the word sublime is what we need for the ending. Because it didn't just end in a massive fight or the Death Star blowing up. The way JMD finished this storyline was absolutely beautiful. So if you haven't been getting this, I'm sure Marvel will collect it in a $85 collected edition. Oh, that's me being facetious. No, ignore that. But get it. Get the collected edition. It's only 4 issues, so I don't know what their Marvel will do with that. Midnight Suns, it just ended all right. Yeah, it was okay, but I'll be honest, unless you get a big omnibus, I know that some of you lot, especially on Threads that I've seen, like these omnibus editions that are about that thick. I don't know if Marvel are going to collect all that lot, but it was a decent read. The main storyline and Midnight Suns and the tie-ins with Doctor Strange, for me, were all okay. But it does leave you wondering why. It really does. It does. I don't know if it must be a proven marketing success to do these crossover events, these big yearly things, because they do them annually now. And I've got to admit, I think it's wearing thin. If you're into comics already, it wears thin. This isn't wearing thin yet. G.I. Joe, it's a bit convoluted, I will say that. All of these tie-ins with the G.I. Joe universe, I'm going to bear with it for now. But I've got to admit, I know how they're tying it all in. You've got Scarlet in this issue, and you've got Cobra Commander, and I'm getting all of them. But for now, I'm bearing with it, because it does seem like everyone involved is enjoying themselves, and why shouldn't we? So these are still very, very good. Sometimes an eclectic mix. In this particular issue, there isn't anything, there's no superstar in this issue. Like sometimes you might get a Peach Momoko story or whatever it is. But in this issue, there's no superstar in it. But after 4 issues of Darth Maul, Black, White and Red, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying, and I think the Marvel Star Wars stuff is kind of coming to a conclusion now, isn't it? I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know if they're going to reboot it afterwards. But anyway, and the final little mention of the week, Sam and Twitch. I'm still getting it. I don't know if I'll drop this. Not that it's crap or anything like that, but I'll give it to the end of this. I'll give it to the end of this run, and then we'll see. So I know it's a bit of a lackluster week. I know normally I'm gushing more about this, that, and the other, but please join me after this scroll for the deep dive on my top 5 and cover of the week. Okay, guys, so here we go. This was a more intriguing and interesting issue of comic book frivolity than we had from the first 6 issues. Jonathan Hickman seemed to be getting on with it a little bit more, and I know there needs to be some setup in comics, and if you want to take characters seriously. And I know they, Otto Octavius is introduced here, and it is done very, very nicely. I did like it. So I like what Hickman is doing with all of the characters. MJ and all the rest of it. J. Jonah Jameson, Uncle Ben. I love what he's doing with it all. But this issue seemed to rock along at a better pace. That's all I will say. Kingpin's back. I mean, obviously that was the big reveal at the end of the, blah, blah, blah. And how they introduced the suits and the technology behind the suits. So we get a bit of action at the end of the issue. Because basically what's happening is Otto is experimenting with different power sources and, getting them to fight, like a bit like the old X-Men Danger Room. He's getting Green Goblin and Spider-Man to test. Look, I love that panel, by the way, because Cicchetto's art in this is superb. And what Hickman's basically done is set them both up to test each other, which this is going to be a setup for a fight to come. By the way, I hate the way they're doing these adverts, page for page for page. This is absolutely ridiculous. Marvel, this is shit. I'm sorry if I'm going to get look, this is shit. Come on, you can do better than that. You can do better than that. Sorry, I was sidelined there. But what Hickman's doing is he's setting them up. We're setting these characters up for the bigger the bigger reveal, the bigger kind of clash. But really enjoyed it because it really did seem to up the pace. But this is the 7th issue. So again, I would just like to see these modern writers up the pace a bit quicker. Come on, just get on with it, guys, please. You're all good writers. Hickman isn't a bad writer. Cicchetto is a gorgeous artist. Just get on with it. But I tell you what I did do with my next book. Finally. So from the ashes of all the books that have been released so far, for me, this is the best one. We obviously know Deadpool. I know Forge from years ago, but nevertheless, what they do here is give you enough pointers to what's going on. And they even across the storyline. So I mean, obviously, there's not a lot going on here. But who is Forge? I forgot what Forge's powers were. I don't know the last comic I read with Forge in it. But by the time he's interviewing this other character, and Forge. So I've never heard of Sage or Tank. Obviously, Captain Britain, but that's new. Yeah, and Deadpool. Probably, I'm going to go with Forge and Deadpool. Yeah, other than that, but what Geoffrey Thorne and Marcus Toe did very, very well for me in this issue is explain where everyone is, what everyone's doing, and what the mission is. And it was one mission, and all that Forge has accomplished in this one issue is assemble a team. That's all we need. Buddock Estate, here we are, back in Essex, that's where I live. That's where I live in England, so perhaps I've got some, I've got some affinity for the characters. But anyway, he assembles the team. So come on, this is X-Men. Assemble the team and go on the mission. I mean, it isn't hard to do, is it? It really isn't difficult. Artwork is great. Everything was explained superbly. They set it up with a nice, just a villain, an issue. Just give us a villain for this issue, and they did. Bring on Deadpool. He does his shtick. I really, really enjoyed. I won't go further, but I really, really enjoyed this issue. That is the best from the ashes so far, even better than the main X-Men title that they released first, because this is so much fun, and you know where you are. You know what you're doing. You only got to say Madripoor a couple of days ago and explain what these people are. That's all you got to do. That used to be a staple of Marvel Comics, explaining within the first 6 pages everyone's abilities and what happened last issue. That used to be Stan Lee's publishing doctrine. So anyway, but that's a subject for another day. Blood Hunt. Now, Pepe Larraz's artwork in this, I've got to say, has been gorgeous. He could draw anything. This boy could draw. He can illustrate anything for me, Pepe Larraz. And again, these I was going to swear then, these adverts are so jarring. Why we can't have these pages of artwork? He can do Scarlet Witch, he can do Thor. I know I'm not giving much away. And Blade. This is the ultimate issue. So, do I need to tell you that that our heroes defeat the foe? Right, no, of course you don't, because it's comics. Right, they don't lose. But in the meanwhile, there is some good action. Jed McKay is dealing us some very, very decent action. Very, very adeptly illustrated by Pepe Larraz. But it's all about Doom. And I see what they're doing. But it's very nicely done. The Dracula, out of all of the Blood Hunt, the Dracula Blade, whatever her name is, it didn't really work for me, that little sideline. But this final issue, did we need it? Was there a better? Great to see Moon Knight back. My Moon Knight. It was a very, very enjoyable issue, and you can see the artwork crackles, like the colouring crackle, everything does. Look at this. That's how you do it. Very, very nicely done. Even all this, yeah. Pepe Larraz, I've got to say, spot on. He's dragged me through that, but I don't know what kind of omnibus they're going to collect Blood Hunt in. As a 5-issue, I can't say that would be an enjoyable read without the little add-ons. I've enjoyed it because I've got Doctor Strange. So I read Doctor Strange each month. I've got Midnight Suns. I've got the Dracula one with Brielle in it, yeah. To be fair, unless it's at the right price point, like don't bother, I suppose. But I put it in my top 5. Like that's why I feel conflicted, because I put this in my top 5. I think it's because of Pepe Larraz's artwork. I think it's a gorgeous thing to behold, and I liked it when he done the Mark Millar. I forget what it was now. What was it? Anyway. But the question we need to ask ourselves now, so that's all the serious stuff, because the next two comics, guys, you might as well switch off now if you haven't got a funny bone, because unless you want to unless you want to ponder on what if Donald Duck become Wolverine, unless you want to ponder that, then I love this fact they've done the Miller, Frank Miller's side to the, and he's got the marshmallows on his claws. Here he is. Come on, and who are we going to see first? Hawkeye. Oh, Mickey Mouse is Hawkeye. Look at the chickens looking on. Look. Right. So, do I need to show you any more? You know, he's Hawkeye or Hawk Mickey is shooting an arrow. Look, the apple drops on his head. But this is the best bit for me. This here is absolutely superb. Where he's in the Weapon X paraphernalia and he comes out of it. Look, another one. This traffic ticket is not even for me. Look, he's going, have you got a problem? So they've experimented on him and he's angry. He's gone in. He's not angry when he went in. But now he's got a problem with a traffic ticket. I thought it was... it's a lot of fun, guys. It really is. Just as a one-off issue. There are a lot worse comics out there. You know, here he is slicing up pie, and here's Hawkeye again. It's a nice pastiche on X-Men comics, on Marvel comics. It's nicely look. It's just very, very nicely done, and I laughed all the way through. This it is, yeah, it is nicely done. So anyway, it's in my top 5. I mean, I don't know what you're all thinking, guys, about bloody hell, like Hog. What's the matter with you this week? Like, you've got some right lame choices, but I don't know if I've done issue. I think I did do issue 1 of this actually, and I don't know if this resonates. If it's Rick Remender, so you will know the name. I don't know the artist's name, Brian Posehn, but this is a glorious, even this opening scene, this opening dream sequence with boy plus girls, showing them what you shouldn't be seeing, and you know, look, whoosh. So from the first page, you know, and it's a dream sequence, look, and his dad's spraying him with a hose. Now I know that might be a little bit on the nose, but this is such a fun. What I'm liking about it is it comes across as a Rick Remender school days kind of essay, story, whatever you want to call it. But in the meanwhile, I mean, what's going on with this Smurf Christmas tree ornament that one of our main characters has his eye on? Look, and he has to pocket. Look, and he feels really guilty about it. So I don't know what's going to go on there. But these are all skateboarding dudes in skateboarding. Why can't I say boarding? Skateboarding dudes in, you know, San Francisco, California, where, you know, whatever part of California it was at the time, and, you know, mocking up a little bit of, you know, how's your father, and it's so nicely done. It's a it's very deftly done. There's a nice soft touch to it all. There's no hard. It's not abrasive. This could have been Remender could have gone down a different route with this tale of 3 boys, you know, our 3 heroes on their journey of adolescence. It could have really, he could have turned it into something dark, but you know what? Because he's turned it into the light and how we all were. I can only speak for the boys in this review. But this is how we all were. Yeah, we would want, and I didn't live in America, obviously I'm from England, but this is how we all were. We were chasing the girls that were beyond our reach, and we were doing stupid things. and Reminder has really tapped into that for me. It doesn't matter what country you're from. So perhaps this is more targeted towards the boys of the audience, but there's nothing wrong with that. Why not make men of a certain age your audience? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And this book is I'm the audience. So thank you, Rick Reminder, for that, because it's full on, even down to the bloodshot eyes, because he's done he's done too much weed. I love it. And this one is my book of the week. I don't know if it can be the cover of the week. Can 3 boys on skateboards be the cover of the week? Or, right, if we were going up to that spinner rack, or would not hordes of alien soldiers launching out of spaceships, like hovering down, that would be better, wouldn't it? Like skateboards versus hordes of aliens? No way. No way, Grommets. Or would it have been Spider-Man fighting this monster in negative space, even smashing through their own logo? Would it have been Blade, but a bit static? But he's a vampire. Darth Maul, he's a Sith Lord, but is it a bit static? But he is making, I don't know if he's writing his name in the snow or he's marking a boundary. You know, like when you write your name in the sand on the beach. Forgive me for that. So I don't know why I said that. Anyway, so we won't do Darth Maul. We're not going to do Midnight Suns. These are the covers, and beautiful artwork, by the way, and here as well. All beautifully rendered covers. It isn't Grommets. I do think it's between these two this week. And I've got to say, although G.I. Joe, this is a beautiful read. 4 issues of beautiful, from JMD, the art team, everyone. Absolutely beautiful book. This is cover of the week. I've got to say, hordes of black helmeted alien soldiers has got to do it. It's got to be the cover of the week. Look, why would you not buy that? Why would you not go to the spinner rack and go, yes, this comic is the one for me. Look at these aliens. They're going to unleash hell. So that's my cover of the week, guys. If you have stayed with me this far, I know it's been a bit of a weird week this week, so thank you if you have stayed with me this far, because I know it's been a bit of a weird one, like a bit of a 10 out of 10. You know, I've had to kind of find the sweet corn in the turd, as the saying goes. But thank you if you have stayed with me this far, and I'm sure that next week, in a new month, we'll have more comics aplenty for me to pick apart. So until then, I will bid you all adios.